The rain had been falling for almost 3 hours when Daniel Mercer saw her. It was the kind of rain that turned the road into a mirror and made every passing headlight look like a ghost drifting through the darkness. Daniel had been driving home from the grocery store, one hand on the steering wheel and the other resting near the gearshift, while his 8-year-old daughter, Emma, slept quietly in the back seat. "Daddy," Emma had murmured a few minutes earlier. Daniel glanced at her through the rearview mirror. "Yeah, sweetheart? Are we almost home?" 10 minutes. She had nodded sleepily and closed her eyes again. Daniel smiled. Then he saw something on the side of the road. At first, he thought it was a pile of wet clothes. Then the headlights moved across it. A person. A woman was sitting on the muddy shoulder, her back against a broken wooden sign. One leg was stretched awkwardly in front of her, while the other was bent beneath her. Her clothes were soaked through, and her dark hair clung to her face. Daniel immediately slowed down. His first instinct was caution. The road was nearly empty. It was late. He didn't know who she was or what had happened. But then he saw her trying to stand. She pushed both hands against the ground. Her arms shook. She lifted herself halfway. Then she collapsed again. Daniel pulled the car over. "Daddy?" Emma woke up. "Stay inside," Daniel said. "Why?" "I saw someone who might need help." Daniel grabbed his umbrella and stepped into the rain. The woman looked up when he approached. "Are you hurt?" She didn't answer. Daniel moved closer but kept a respectful distance. "Ma'am, can you hear me?" Her eyes were red, not just from the rain. She looked exhausted. "Please," she whispered. "What happened?" "Just leave me." Daniel froze. "What?" "Please leave." Her voice cracked. "I can't walk." Daniel looked at her leg. There was a small tear near her knee, and beneath it, he could see swelling beginning around her ankle. "I can call an ambulance." "No." "Then I'll take you to a hospital." "No." She shook her head violently. "Just leave me alone." Daniel crouched several feet away. "I can't do that." "You don't understand." "I understand that you're hurt." "You don't understand anything." She looked away. Daniel noticed something else. Her hands were trembling. Not from the cold. Fear. "You don't have to tell me your whole story," he said gently. "But I can't leave someone injured on the side of the road." She laughed bitterly. "Why?" Daniel didn't know what to say. Finally, he answered, "Because my daughter is watching me." The woman looked toward the car. Emma was sitting in the back seat, staring through the window. Daniel continued, "And I don't want her growing up believing that we only help people when it's convenient." The woman stared at him. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then she whispered, "You have a daughter?" "Yes." "How old?" 8. The woman's expression softened for half a second. Then the pain returned to her eyes. "You should take her home." "I will." "Then go." Daniel stood. He walked back toward the car. The woman closed her eyes. For a moment, she probably believed he was finally leaving. Instead, Daniel opened the trunk. He took out an old blanket, a first aid kit, and a flashlight. Then he returned. The woman opened her eyes. "I told you to leave." "I heard you." "Then why are you still here?" "Because you told me you can't walk." Daniel carefully placed the blanket around her shoulders. She tried to push it away. "I don't need this." "You're freezing." "I said I don't need it." "You don't have to need it." He looked at her. "You just have to let someone help you." She stared at him as if nobody had spoken to her that way in a very long time. Daniel took out his phone. "I'll call emergency services." Her face suddenly changed. "No." She grabbed his wrist. Daniel stopped. "Please." There was panic in her voice now. "Don't call them." "Why?" "I can't go to a hospital. You could have a serious injury." "I know." "Then why?" She released his wrist and lowered her head. "Because I can't afford it." Daniel looked at her quietly. "That isn't a reason to stay here." "It is for me." "No. You don't know what my life is like." "No," Daniel admitted. "I don't." He sat down on the wet pavement. "But I know what it looks like when someone has stopped believing they deserve help." The woman's eyes filled with tears. She turned her face away. Daniel didn't push her. He simply stayed. Rain hammered against the umbrella. Emma suddenly opened the car door. "Daddy." Daniel turned. "Emma, I told you to stay inside." "But she's cold." The woman looked at the little girl. Emma was holding another blanket. She walked carefully through the rain. Daniel quickly met her halfway. "Sweetheart, you'll get soaked." Emma looked at the woman. "Are you okay?" The woman tried to smile. "Yes." Emma tilted her head. "You don't look okay." Daniel almost laughed despite the situation. The woman looked down. "I guess I'm not." Emma held out the blanket. "You can have mine." The woman hesitated. "Thank you." Emma smiled. "My dad helps people." Daniel looked at his daughter. "Apparently." Emma nodded seriously. "He helped me when Mommy left." The words hit the air like a sudden crack of thunder. Daniel's smile disappeared. The woman looked at him. Emma didn't seem to realize what she had said. Daniel crouched beside his daughter. "Come on." "Back in the car." "Okay." Emma returned to the vehicle. Daniel turned toward the woman. "She didn't mean to." "She knows." The woman looked at him. "She knows her mother left?" Daniel nodded. "She knows enough." The woman lowered her eyes. I'm sorry. You don't have to be. Daniel looked at her injured leg again. We need to get you somewhere safe. She whispered, I don't have anywhere. Daniel frowned. What do you mean? She didn't answer. Do you have family? No. Friends? No. Somewhere to stay? Silence. Daniel understood. He didn't ask again. He called emergency services. The woman immediately became tense. Daniel noticed. I'm not going anywhere, he said. You don't have to stay. I know. Why do you keep doing that? Doing what? Helping. Daniel thought about it. Maybe because someone once helped me. She looked at him. Who? My wife. The woman went still. Daniel looked toward the road. She died 3 years ago. I'm sorry. Thank you. What happened? Cancer. The woman looked down. I shouldn't have asked. It's okay. Daniel sat beside her. She spent 2 years fighting. During that time, I learned something. What? People think strength means never falling apart. He smiled sadly. But sometimes strength is simply letting someone sit beside you while you do. The woman's eyes filled again. She wiped them quickly. I don't know how to let people help me. You can start by not telling me to leave. A tiny smile appeared on her face. It disappeared almost immediately. I'm serious. So am I. She looked at him. My name is Daniel. She hesitated. Lena. Nice to meet you, Lena. I wish it were under better circumstances. Me too. The ambulance arrived several minutes later. 2 paramedics stepped out. Daniel helped explain what had happened. Lena became frightened again. One paramedic gently examined her ankle. Looks like a severe sprain, possibly a fracture. We need to get you checked. Lena looked at Daniel. He understood what she was asking without words. Go, he said. I don't have money. We'll figure it out. You can't pay for me. I didn't say I would. She looked confused. Daniel smiled. I said we'll figure it out. The paramedics helped her onto the stretcher. As they lifted her, she cried out in pain. Daniel's daughter covered her mouth. Daddy. She's going to be okay. Lena looked at Emma. The little girl gave her a small wave. Bye. Lena raised her hand weakly. Then the ambulance doors closed. Daniel stood in the rain. Emma walked up beside him. Are we going home? Daniel looked at the ambulance. Yes. Are you going to forget her? Daniel looked down at his daughter. No. Why? Because she asked me to leave. Emma thought about it. And you didn't. Daniel smiled. Exactly. The next morning, Daniel woke before sunrise. He hadn't slept well. He kept thinking about Lena. He didn't know why. Maybe because there had been something familiar in her eyes. Something he had seen before. Not in her face. In the way she looked at the world. Like the world had disappointed her so many times that she had stopped expecting anything good from it. Daniel got dressed and prepared breakfast for Emma. Daddy? Is the lady okay? I don't know yet. Can we visit her? Daniel looked at his daughter. I don't know where she is. Emma's face fell. Daniel picked up his phone. He called the hospital. After several transfers, he finally found out which emergency department had received Lena. He wasn't family, so they couldn't tell him much. But they confirmed she was still there. Daniel drove Emma to school. Then he went to the hospital. Lena was sitting in a wheelchair near a window. Her ankle was wrapped in a thick cast. She looked exhausted. When she saw Daniel, her eyes widened. What are you doing here? Daniel smiled. Good morning. You came. I did. Why? I brought something. He held up a small paper bag. Lena frowned. What is it? Breakfast. I don't need it. I figured you'd say that. He handed it to her anyway. She stared at the bag. Daniel. It's just food. I can't accept this. Why? Because then I'll owe you. Daniel sat across from her. You don't owe me anything. You helped me. Yes. You brought me food. Yes. You found me a hospital. Yes. Why? Daniel shrugged. Because you're human. Lena looked away. Tears slowly gathered in her eyes. I don't understand people like you. Neither do I. She laughed quietly. For the first time, Daniel saw a genuine smile. Then a nurse approached. Lena? Yes? There's a social worker who wants to speak with you. Lena's expression immediately changed. Daniel noticed. The nurse left. What is it? He asked. Nothing. Lena. She looked at him. I can't stay here. Why? They're going to discharge me soon. That's good. No. She looked frightened. I have nowhere to go. Daniel leaned back. Didn't they offer a temporary shelter? Yes. But? I can't go there. Why? Lena hesitated. Then she whispered, because the man who caused the accident knows where I used to stay. Daniel's expression hardened. What man? Lena looked toward the hallway. I don't want to talk about it. Okay. Daniel didn't push. But now he understood why she had been so afraid. He stood. I'm going to make a few calls. Daniel. He stopped. Don't. Don't what? Don't get involved. He looked at her. It's too late. Why? Because you are already involved in my life. She stared at him. I don't even know you. You know enough. He walked toward the door. Lena called after him. Daniel. He turned. Thank you. He nodded. Then he left. Neither of them knew it yet, but that simple act of kindness was about to change both their lives. Because Daniel wasn't just going to help Lena recover from a broken ankle. He was about to uncover the reason she had been running. And when he finally learned who she was running from, he would realize that the woman who begged him to leave her on that rainy roadside had been carrying a secret far more painful than her injury. A secret that would eventually put his daughter in danger too. And Daniel would have to make the hardest choice of his life.